Ploughshares in the interview room, some nuts and bolts.
I admit that obviously he's not going to turn this, I'm assuming 10 or 15 or maybe 20 tonne helicopter into a ploughshare, but the blow to the helicopter is the striking of the sword to turn it into something useful to me. I think it was weekend prayers that he decided that he would continue on with his action.
Oh, you mean when he read the Moses readings? It was in the week. It was when Jim and Em were still here, so it was early in that week, Monday or Tuesday, or he said Sunday maybe. You have to check the readings. I can check my Catholic app for you if you like and get the exact date.
And there was a point where Moses was threatened. He was going to be killed by Pharaoh. And Moses never came into his full powers of leadership. I mean, he led the Israelites from slavery to freedom. That's the story of Moses. But he didn't do that until he was an old man. And he lived to be an old man because when Pharaoh threatened to kill him, Moses ran away. And that was very significant for me because if I remember I said I would tell you if I changed my mind. And what was happening for me there is if I change my mind and I tell you you're going to take my freedom away and I'm not going to be able to act in the way that I'm called to act. So that incident in prayer, that part of the reading was very fortuitous. You know, oh, well, okay, what you do is you run away. And you carry out the act that you are intended to carry out.
Was it the daily? It's just the regular daily reading we're reading. We've been reading Exodus since we've been here. The daily readings. It's all been about Moses.
In the last fortnight, I would think is probably around the frame that he's decided that I'm going to take action. I'm assuming there was conversations between you and he and others that may have well been present. And at that time you've said, yes, I will help. Or how can I help? Is that correct?
From my understanding, Brian never faltered. Right? He was always intent on ploughsharing a helicopter. And this is because he believed such an action was required at this time to bring the peace movement into focus.
For my mind, and if I'm wrong at any stage, please interject. Prior to Wednesday, there was, Brian had outlined his intentions to fulfil his, and I'll use the word threats, but his statements to complete a ploughshare action. And you have, mate, I'm there, whatever help I can give you. Is that correct so far?
I'll support you to get there.
Okay. Wednesday, he seeks some advice, and you provide some advice in relation to a pair of bolt cutters, which he believes he will need to access the gate. Is that correct? So you attend. Was it the man's
toy shop?
Man's toy shop. And he provides some advice. You photograph the buying of the key, say, to the gate. There's also some talk about how best to get him there, given his condition, and the idea of a rental truck is raised, so that the truck is rented. Were you with him at the time when the truck was rented?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. That evening, that being Wednesday evening, you load the trike into the back of the truck. Does the trike have a name?
Trikey.
Oh, peace trike.
Oh, sorry, I just called it Trikey on the internet and put a picture of it.
Change it. Go straight.
Right.
I assumed it was called the peace trike. That's for my benefit.
I realise. I wrote it down when I heard you say it in big letters. It's changed name.
Thursday morning, you drive the truck, which contains the trike, and Mr. Law out to the airport, and you park on the outside of a building that is adjacent to the gate, and you record Brian's his efforts, his moving of the bicycle to the gate, etc., him cutting the gate, and him entering the tarmac area. You know this. You know that his intended action at this time is to make a symbolic gesture of striking the aircraft with a mattock to cause some damage. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then shortly after, we've discussed at length, I suppose, the fact that you photographed and made some phone calls that you left them were intercepted. Do you remember how the gate physically got from the closed position to the open position?
My recall is that when the chain fell away, it was very dramatic. You know, the chain was on the ground. You know, you chose the best place. The gate swung towards me because I was standing near.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Instinctively, I took the gate, threw it wider. Okay.
So it was falling open,
Yeah.
and you grabbed it and
Yeah.
you pushed it further open. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have to hold the gate?
I don't recall holding it.
I mean,
Maybe I-
holding it in the open position at all?
Maybe I did. I can't recall.
Okay.
It'll be on the camera, I guess. But it was
That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
for me. It felt that was one of the. It was associated with this falling away of the chain. There's something symbolic about opening gates. You know? Opening gates to a new world, and that's what I felt at the time. I was standing there.
I can see the image that you're talking about. I mean, obviously, the gate and the chain itself forms a barrier to...
Yeah. Accomplish with this divine act, this blessed act.
And I can see that in your observations that the chain falling away is the freeing, I suppose, of your... Now I'm going to struggle to get this right.
It's like it's meant to be, you know?
Yeah.
It's like divine mission or something. What is it? Fated. Fate.
Inside the truck there were, I believe, maps of airport grounds.
These were photocopied from Google Maps.
Okay.
Yeah, by Brian.
All right. Do you know what's on the maps?
It was just the directions to the civil aviation area.
Okay. So it's just a map, like a street map, from how to get from...
That was
Bucket Street.
satellite, printed off from Google
Okay.
Maps.
Are the maps detailed enough that you know where the gates are?
You can't see the gates.
Oh, they are satellite imagery.
Yes,
Is that right?
you can't actually see the gates. You can see the buildings.
Yeah.
And you can guess by the roads where the gates are.
Okay, all right. Did that help either of you form an opinion as to where your approach should be made?
Oh, yeah.
I entered the Rockhampton airport near, I think it was next to the Royal Flying Doctors Service, on one side, on the right side, and on the left side was the Rockhampton Aero Club. I used bolt cutters to cut the chain, holding a gate closed, opened the gate, rode my tricycle through, rode at about 100 metres to where a Tiger helicopter was parked, not in operation and not with anybody next to it. Hopped off the tricycle, got my trusty mattock and gave it a good whack.